and two ladies came. They stripped me naked.
They did?
Yes, they stripped me naked, completely naked. And then they even checked me down there. And they checked my backside if I had stuck cocaine inside. But I never signed any of those contracts. Once I saw that, I was not interested.
I never even knew it existed.
It exists. It exists. So when I was in Seinäjoki, it exists.
You don't mean it?
I'm telling you.
Paper contracts?
Paper contracts that you have to sign that we will be friends for 1 year. And the way they do this thing, it's so, like, it's psychological, because it really got me thinking. I'm like, did I sleepwalk? Did I do cocaine by mistake somewhere unknowingly or whatever? Switzerland, of course, with regards to salary, they pay more. Even though the cost of living is
Migrants
expensive.
and money.
Yes, they pay more. Monday, I went straight to apply for the visa. Friday, my visa came out. Saturday, I left everything. I gave away all my stuff because there was nothing to do. I couldn't even go home. I couldn't even go back home to Zimbabwe to tell my parents I'm leaving for Europe. I told them over the phone, but my parents gave me their blessings and, they said, it's okay, just go. So Saturday, she bought me my ticket, packed my bags, took whatever I could, gave away everything, left for Europe.
Do you know about this Jakpa term Nigerians use? To Jakpa?
I've heard it before. Is that what I did?
Hello, I welcome you to another episode of the Stephen Ikebude Show. On this episode, we have another guest, a migrant who lives here in Finland, who is here to tell her migrant story. Gabriella, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm okay. And thank you for having me on this show.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
We know the journey of telling how life is abroad.
Definitely.
Can have different and diverse stories and experiences.
Yeah.
And this particular episode is dedicated to yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Why Finland?
Well, actually, I would say God. I would say it was God. It was God's plan, God's will, because I never even thought one day I would be in Finland. I never had plans like to migrate here. So yeah, God's will, God's plans.
What is your original home country?
My original home country is Zimbabwe. Born and bred in Zimbabwe.
So when you say God's plan brought you to Finland, where did you get to first?
Okay, yeah. So I'll tell you a bit of the backstory. I was born in Zimbabwe. I went to school there, and then halfway in the middle of my high school in Zimbabwe, I moved to South Africa to do my high school, to finish off my high school in South Africa.
Okay.
And from South Africa, I did my high school there. I even did a university degree in South Africa.
Okay.
And then from South Africa, I moved to France.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to live in France for a bit, and then from France, I moved to Finland.
What year did you get to South Africa?
In South Africa, it was 2000 and, oh my God, it was a long time ago. But I know I was 16 years old, turning 17 years old. Around 2008, 2007, 2008.
So your migrant journey began from South Africa?
Yes, from South Africa, yes.
How long were you in South Africa?
I've been there for, I would say 10 years. If I moved there 11 years.
11 years.
In South Africa, 11 years.
And you went to France when? What year?
Yeah, France, I moved 2017.
2017?
Yes,
wow.
2017.
Oh, and how long were you in France?
I was in France for about 2 years.
What did you do in France?
In France, I went to, I was an au pair. So basically, I went to help families look after their children and help them with like light house chores. and just integrate.
Okay.
Learn about French culture and learn the language as well. So,
Do you speak French?
Oui, je parle français. Yeah.
I know a bit of French too. Je m'appelle français, tout ça qu'elle a.
Yeah. It's quite an interesting language.
So, from France, you came to Finland.
Yes, I came to Finland.
What were you looking for again?
So, because I was taking care of children in France, I saw that I had a passion with children.
Okay.
I enjoyed looking after children. So I was thinking, okay, after this au pair exchange program, so what am I gonna do after? I needed a plan for what to do afterwards.
Okay.
I didn't want to be just idle and do nothing. So I was like, okay, I can be a nurse for children,
Okay.
and I wanted to study nursing.
Okay.
So I went and I started researching, where I can study nursing in English, because as much as I had learned the French language, I wasn't fluent and I wasn't really comfortable in learning, doing nursing in the French language because
Okay.
I wasn't so fluent. I wanted to understand everything. So I started searching nursing in English.
Okay.
And Finland just kept popping up. Finland kept
Wow.
popping up, nursing in English. So I applied at 2 schools. Actually, I applied different schools with a joint application.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I also remember I applied in Kokola because Kokola didn't have a joint application.
Okay.
Centria University. So I got an invitation. I got 2 invitations to come and write the
entrance exam.
Entrance
Yeah.
exam, yeah. So from France, I flew first to Kokola.
Okay.
Went to write, went back to France, and then went back to Seinäjoki to write, and went back to France.
Ooh.
And I got accepted to both universities.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But I ended up choosing Seinäjoki anyway because of the costs and everything. It was much more affordable.
So, your first point was South Africa. You lived there for about 10, 11 years.
Yeah, 10. Let me say 10 years because I moved to South Africa in 2007.
Okay.
And then I left South Africa to go to France in 2017. So that's like 10 years.
Okay, 10 years. So, and it was through education. You mentioned exchange program.
Yeah, and basically an au pair, you just go and you just look for a family online that needs help with children.
Yeah, but how did you get to France? Was it through the school exchange program?
No, it wasn't through school. I just did it completely myself online.
Okay, a job.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just did it myself. Online.
Okay.
But yeah,
okay.
I got a family. She needed someone ASAP. She helped me get the visa. She sent everything for the visa. I got my visa within 1 week. I applied on Monday for my visa. Friday, my visa came out for France. And Saturday, she bought me a ticket to come because she needed someone ASAP.
She did?
Yes, the family in France. The lady I was going to help.
Is she a migrant or is she a native?
No, she's native French. Native French, yeah.
All of these express.
Yeah, it was really good because I had, so there's a site online, it's called Au Pair World.
Okay.
Where families are looking for au pairs and au pairs are looking for families.
Uh-huh.
So we matched, me and this lady. I had an interview with her on Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday, I remember it was a Sunday evening I had interview with her. Monday she sent me, after the interview, she started sending me the documents needed for au pair. Monday I went straight to apply for the visa. Friday my visa came out. Saturday I left everything. I gave away all my stuff because there was nothing to do. I couldn't even go home. I couldn't even go back home to Zimbabwe to tell my parents I'm leaving for Europe. I told them over the phone, but my parents gave me their blessings and, they said, it's okay, just go. So Saturday, she bought me my ticket, packed my bags, took whatever I could, gave away everything, left for Europe.
Do you know about this Jakpa term Nigerians use? To Jakpa?
I've heard it before. Is that what I did?
This is a different. Wow, this is the express level of Jakpa.
Yeah, it was very express, very quick, very, everything went very quick.
When you look back, do you think you could do such a move again?
Right, I know. Now I need to plan, because of course now I have family, I have a child, so now it was, of course, because back in South Africa I had just graduated, by the way. I had just graduated.
So you were fresh, light,
So,
and ready to fly.
Yeah, I was fresh, light, and ready to fly. Because if I wasn't doing that, then I was going to start the process of looking for a job.
And that takes
Yeah,
longer time.
So there was nothing like that. I'll be like,
were you hoping at any point in time while studying in South Africa you were going to go to Europe?
Oh well, I was hoping, because South Africa also, it was now, the economy and everything was now starting to go down, and I was thinking, where can I find greener pastures? My I've actually always wanted to visit and go maybe settle down in Canada, but I wasn't even looking at Canada then, because most OPE world families that I was looking for, they were in Europe. So I was like, okay, Europe is my best bet for now.
Okay.
So let me just find a family in Europe and go.
So you went to France, lived there for 2 years. How long have you been in Finland now?
I've been in Finland. I came 2019, so
6 years?
yes, yeah, almost 6 years, yeah.
6 years in Finland, 2 years in France,
Yeah.
10 years in South Africa.
Yeah.
That's 18 years abroad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 18 years abroad. Yeah.
What has the journey taught you?
It's really taught me very much to be independent, very independent, and I have learned a lot, because I left my parents' house before I was even 18, So I had a lot of growing up to do by myself. Yeah, it taught me.
For you to have
independence.
lived in 3 different countries,
Yeah.
how did you survive?
It was tough. It was quite tough, but I'm happy I did. Like, if I was to choose again, I would do it the same way, because I learned a lot.
You do it the same way?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Because I feel so much stronger now, with regards mentally, everything, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I feel I'm much stronger than, I just feel like powerful because of what I've gone through by myself.
Tell us what you went through. Tell us, share certain parts of it that you think the world out there should know. Because moving before adulthood, having lived in 3 different countries, a lot has happened to you.
Yeah.
What are some of the experiences that you think many could learn from that you had?
Okay. So I'll start by saying, like, for example, when I moved from Zimbabwe to South Africa, I moved by myself to go to high school. But in South Africa, I also have family there. So I wouldn't say I was completely alone, that I didn't have anyone to go to or stay with or whatever, but I had family there. It's just that, growing up with my parents and all that, my parents were now not there. My sister wasn't there. I was, it was just me and like relatives here, there, and there.
Okay.
And then, but when I moved from the city that I did my high school, I went to a different city for university, of which there I was now by myself.
Okay.
That's when I feel like, I started growing up.
Okay.
I was exposed to so much, like so much could have gone the wrong way.
Okay.
But I thank God it ended up going the right way. Yeah, because I was exposed to like a lot, and I didn't have guidance. I had to guide myself.
Wow.
Mistakes happened, and I learned a lot. And then from South Africa, I moved to France. And then when I got to France, of course, it's my first time living in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I don't know the rules. I remember within the first within the first 3 months of living in France,
Yeah.
I traveled to Spain because we get this. Once you get the Schengen visa, you have freedom of travel within the Schengen area.
Yes.
So I traveled to Spain from. Okay, let me explain that. In France, I didn't live in Paris, the big city. I lived in a small village, small town close to Geneva, which is Switzerland.
Okay.
So Geneva was like my closest city. The closest airport was in Geneva.
Okay.
So I just easily traveled. It was like a 15-minute drive from the town I lived in France to Switzerland.
Okay.
So it was very easy travel. And Switzerland as well. They say that they're a neutral country and their laws, they do things a bit differently.
Okay.
So I traveled to Spain, and coming back, I had to fly back from Spain, Madrid,
Yeah.
to Geneva,
Yeah.
Switzerland, and then I drive home
Okay.
from Geneva, or get a cab or transport back to the town that I was living in France. And I remember I got on a 10 p.m. flight.
Okay.
Well, I was supposed to arrive at 10 p.m. We actually arrived at 10 p.m. in Geneva. We arrived at 10 p.m. Geneva, and I was the only black person in the plane.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably the only African in the plane. Because as soon as we got out, the police were standing by the door, the airplane door, and they were checking everyone's ID.
Okay.
So everyone had their red passports and whatever, and I'm the only one who came out with my green passport. This is my old passport, y'all. My old passport. I'm the only one who came out with the green passport.
Wow.
And they stopped me and put me aside, and they checked my passport. And let me also explain that when I got this is my French visa.
Okay.
The one that I traveled to in France. And when you get to France as an au pair, the first year, you're supposed to register your residence, of which I did. But when you register, you don't get a residence card. You get what they call this vignette. So this is my visa.
Okay.
And then you get what you call this vignette.
Okay.
So the police asked me for my residence card. I told them I don't have that. This is what they gave me, this vignette, which shows it's valid for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then after the 1 year, that's when you apply for residence card, of which I later on got, but I showed them this.
Yeah.
They took me aside and they were like, they were just asking, where am I coming from? I'm like, I'm coming from Madrid. Where are you going? I'm like, I'm going home. I live in Animus. Animus is the town that I lived in.
What do you call it now?
Animus.
Animus, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I live in Animus, and they know that Animus is close to Geneva, So, because they were like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going back home. I'm an au pair. I'm going to Animus. And I asked them, is there a problem? And they were like, no, it's just protocol. I'm like, okay. And then they took me into they were like, come with us. I was like, okay. They took me.
Only you were?
Only me.
Wow.
No one else. Only me. Because I waited with them until everyone had gotten out of the plane. Because I was thinking maybe they're going to ask another
person to join you.
Yeah, they're going to check another person. That's how I saw, first of all, I was the only black person in the plane. And I was the only one who produced a green passport. Because I was checking everyone, So I was trying to be tough about it, but at the same time, this is the first time anything like this happened to me. So I don't know. I was just like, okay, let me just follow the police, And they took me to a small room. And then they took...
at the airport?
In the airport, yes. In the airport. They took a swab and they were swabbing me everywhere, swabbing me and swabbing my bags. And then they were checking my bags and everything. And then in Madrid, I had gone to an African shop. I had also bought some black soap, this African black soap.
Yeah.
And they took that soap with them and they took my phones.
Okay.
And they took my phones and they went whatever. And then some moments later, I was just sitting there just waiting. Some moments later, they come back and they were like, do you have drugs on you? I'm like, no. And they asked, do you have cocaine on you? I'm like, no. And they were like, the swab test shows you have cocaine. They chose traces of cocaine. So mind you, they didn't show me this test because usually when I watch all these shows on TV, this banged up abroad or this border security.
Yeah.
I see that they do the test and they come back with the test to show them that, there are traces of cocaine, but they didn't show me nothing. I didn't see the test or whatever. By that point, I probably should have asked, but, I'm just like,
Yeah, you're new.
yeah, I'm new, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, and they were like, it shows traces of cocaine. And they were now started bombarding me about it. And the way they do this thing, it's so, like, it's psychological, because it really got me thinking. I'm like, did I sleepwalk? Did I do cocaine by mistake somewhere unknowingly or whatever? But I kept on telling them what I know. Yeah, like I don't have cocaine or whatever. And they didn't believe me. And they told me that they were gonna search me more, my body.
Okay.
They took me into another room and two ladies came. They stripped me naked.
They did?
Yes, they stripped me naked, completely naked. And then they even checked me down there. And they checked my backside if I'd stuck cocaine inside.
This was happening in Geneva Airport, Switzerland.
Yes. Checked me down there. They told me to bend. They put their finger to check my backside. And after that, I think it was so traumatic for me, I put on my clothes. They told me to put on my clothes. I put on my clothes, went back to the room, sat. They did their talking. They didn't believe me.
Oh boy.
They came back and they told me, we believe you have drugs in your stomach. We're going to take you to the hospital to scan you. And I was like, I just froze because now with the way they were talking and everything, I'm just like, I'm now thinking, tracing back, because I know what I did in Madrid. I know what I did in Madrid, Spain. I was nowhere near drugs, nowhere near, anything like that. So, but now I was now counting my steps, like thinking, do I really have drugs in my stomach? What if I have? It got me asking those stupid questions.
Yeah.
Even though I know I don't have drugs in my stomach, but the fact that they didn't believe and they were like, they're gonna take me to the hospital to scan me. By the way, that black soap, they brought it back. They had dug holes in it. They had dug holes, broken them just to check if there was anything inside, and they gave me. They put back the soap in the bag. By this time had gone by, and my host mother, the lady that you worked with, yes, that I was working for, she was now calling me. I could see she was calling me, but they're not answering, and they're not giving me the phone to answer to explain to her where I am, because she keeps calling.
Yeah,
she's worried. She keeps calling, but they have my phones, and I kept on telling them that, okay, let me answer and tell her. By the way, there was a very big communication breakdown also because they were trying to speak English, and by that time it was only 3 months of me being in France.
Yeah.
So I also didn't speak a lot of French, and they didn't speak a lot of English. But anyway, they took me to the police car and we drove to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, they told the doctor, they explained to the doctor, and then the doctor came to me and was like, look, if you have drugs in you, you have to say it now. Just say it now because it will be better for you. And I kept on saying, but I don't have.
In English? Did he say this to you in English?
Yes, the doctor was speaking to me in English.
Okay.
He looked, he was a foreign doctor though. He looked Arab.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked Arab, but he was very calm and kind. And he was like, if you have drugs, you better tell me. You better say so now. You have to tell them because it's better for you now. When you go to court, it will be better for you with the sentencing and everything. That's what they were telling me. Yes, that's what the doctor told me, that when you go to court, the sentencing and everything, it will be better for you because if you're lying now and they find drugs, it's going to be bad for you. And I'm like, see, I don't have drugs. I don't. And there's a time I stopped answering because now I'm doubting myself.
Yes.
Self-doubt. I'm not doubting myself. Even though I knew I didn't have anything. But the way they were doing things to the extent that they want to scan me, So They scanned me. I went under the machine, lay down, they scanned me. After the scan, they went to check. The police came back. They didn't believe. They gave me water to drink. They were like, drink this water because there's something in your stomach. Drink this water. We wait for a bit to see if it digests. We scan again. The water, my hand is shaking. Took the water, drank. My hand was shaking. I drank. I waited. Even though I was shaking and all, but I was still calm because I even overheard them when they were talking. They were saying, elle est tranquille, which means she's calm. She's calm. Like, I wasn't nervous. That's what they were saying.
Wow.
So I drank the water and we waited 3 hours. I remember because I was checking the time, tracking.
3 hours in the hospital.
Yeah, I got scanned. We waited 3 hours after I drank the water
Oh,
and
boy.
to get scanned again because the police didn't believe. They were like, we need to scan her again. I drank water, waited 3 hours, went under the scan second time. After that, the police spoke to the doctor, and do you know what happened after that?
No.
The police came, gave me my bag, left. The doctor came and said there was nothing, you can go. The police just dumped me there at the hospital, just gave me my bags. No apology, no explanation, nothing. Mind you, this is now 8 a.m. in the morning. When I arrived, 10 p.m.
At night?
Yes, 8 a.m. in the morning.
10 good hours over the night.
Yes.
0 sleep.
Yes.
No apologies.
No apologies.
No compensation,
explanation.
no explanation.
Not even a ride to take me back to the airport because the hospital was even further from the border to go back to France. I had to pay my own cab. I had to pay the cab by myself.
Did they know that you could lose your job for this? Was that even considered at all?
I don't even know because at this time, I'm still new in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I just got a cab and I went back home. They didn't even offer to take me back home or to even take me back to the airport where I could have taken the train back home. They just dumped me. Like I was dumped. Like literally bags on the floor with my phones on top. Turned and left.
The French police?
Yes. The Swiss.
The Swiss police did this?
Switzerland, yes. The Swiss police. And I'm getting back home around 8 a.m. in the morning. I get back home. I'm shaking. I can't even talk. My host mother is worried. She's asking me what happened. I'm trying to explain to her. I explained to her, she was so disappointed and she was so sad for me. She gave me the whole day off that day. She told me to just sleep and rest and that she would try to talk to lawyers or people, find out information on, what can be done about this. So that day, I took the day off. I slept because I couldn't even explaining to her, I couldn't even talk. I was like, traumatized.
This is dehumanizing.
I was traumatized. But then when days later, my host mother came back to me and she was just giving me information and she told me that, unfortunately, there's nothing much that can be done because in Switzerland, so many black girls, they smuggle drugs. They have been caught smuggling drugs. So maybe this is why this happened to you. And, in Switzerland, the police, they rule the country. They own and rule the country. It's their law. So there's nothing much that could have been done about it. And the fact that you didn't speak French, it was also a red flag. You're coming from Africa, So it's one motivation that I got to even learn the language and speak the language fast.
Is being an African a red flag in Europe?
I feel like it is because, again, my host mother told me that even in France, she told me that because she gave me a car to use for the kids, like to be taking the kids around and whatnot. And she even, sat me down and gave me a warning that you're black, you're African, and you need to, whenever you're driving, be safe. Because if an accident happens, automatically the police will blame you because you're black. That's what she told me. if it's me against a French person, she was like, police will automatically blame me because I'm black. So ever since that day, I've been driving in Europe. I'm always conscious. Always conscious. When I'm driving, I don't always look forward. I'm looking forward, sideways, backward. My eyes are everywhere.
Because being black
Yes, because
makes you the one at fault.
at fault, just being black. So I'm always conscious about that. Even though I moved now from France, I'm here to Finland. For me, in my head, it's still the same. I'm just always
The experience is not a good one.
Yeah, it wasn't a good experience at all. It was very traumatic. So I remember the police also tried me again in the train. I was going to another city in Switzerland. I was going to another city and they came because in Switzerland there is so much control. It's different than here in Finland. If you're walking in Switzerland, especially as a black person, you always carry your passport and your residence permit because there's so much control. They go asking randomly. They go asking to see your passport and residence permit. So they tried me again in the train, but this time I was speaking French and I spoke French very well to meet them and they left me alone. They saw me as a local.
Wow.
Yeah, they saw me as a local because I spoke French to them and,
So
they just left me alone.
Knowing how to speak the language, does it make you above the law?
Yeah, it does not make you above the law at all. It doesn't make you above the law.
Does it make your life? Does it smoothen your ability to migrate or move within Europe?
I feel like it does. It does. And it's sad because if it's the other way around, actually, Europeans come to our country. Of course, they don't learn our language. We just welcome them. We love them, whether they speak or not, or of which they don't even, speak the language like how it's supposed to be. It's sad, but I've also noticed like the more you speak their language, the more they respect you. Even here in Finland, it's the same. The more you speak Finnish with them, the more you respect. They respect you, even at the workplace. I suffered that firsthand.
I would say you suffered a lot for it.
Yeah.
It's how now it's in the past.
Yeah, now it's in the past. And now that I've been here quite a while, of course, looking back, I would have, if that thing happens to me now, I definitely would say I know how to handle it better than I did without, knowing the situation.
We are going to come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're still on this episode with Gabriella. You mentioned that you had an ugly experience in Switzerland.
Yes.
Would you recommend Switzerland to anybody as a destination of migration?
That's actually really a tough question because with regards to, everything that happened to me or ever, I personally think that Switzerland is one of the best countries I've visited.
You think so?
Yes, because it has, first of all, it has beautiful landscape and scenery. Like the architecture is amazing. Even when you're traveling by train, you look outside, you just don't see forest. Like here,
Okay.
the scenery, the landscape, the way the houses are built and set up, it's beautiful. I fell in love with that. And then another thing as well is Switzerland, of course, with regards to salary, they pay more. Even though the cost of living is
Migrants
expensive, but they
and
pay
money.
more. Yes, they pay more. So what my host mother used to do, the lady I lived with, she's French, native French.
Okay.
Lives in Animus but works in Switzerland.
Okay.
So she gets more money and all her grocery shopping and everything she does in France because it's cheaper. Her house and everything, is in France because it's cheaper. So that's what most people do who live in the surrounding areas of Switzerland do.
Okay.
They work in Switzerland, but they live in France.
Okay.
And that's why another thing I realize is Switzerland also is xenophobic towards French people. They think
Okay.
French people are taking their jobs.
Okay.
They're coming to work in Switzerland, but they don't live in Switzerland. They go back to their country in France.
Oh.
So they don't like that. My host mother was explaining to me, even with them, it's like that. Because I was telling her how xenophobic South Africans are towards blacks, other black people.
Yeah.
She was like, it's the same there. Of course, it's not as bad as it is when it comes as it is like in South Africa, but she was explaining to me like it's there too because French people want to work in Switzerland because you get paid more.
Do you think it is known that xenophobia actually exists in Switzerland against French people?
For other people, I don't think it's known, but for the French people, definitely it is known because when I was living there and around, talking to people, they used to tell me a lot about that.
You had your ugly experience.
Yeah.
Because you were black.
Yes.
You were the only black person in the plane.
Yes.
You were stopped even after every other white person had been allowed to go.
Yes.
Do you think it's a prevalent culture that black people are known for drug trafficking, cocaine movements in Switzerland?
My thing is that even the white people do it.
What?
I said my thing is that even white people do it. White people can smuggle.
Okay.
So that's why I think what happened to me was more of racial profiling because I was black.
Yes.
Another Swiss person could have easily, I was black in the plane, I had nothing. They probably let another Swiss person go who had something. But because I was black, I was stopped. So if they had seen maybe another Swiss person with the red passport, searched properly, they probably would have found something with them.
But they just never went that way.
Yes. They went with me just because of the color of my skin. Or because of the passport. I don't know which one it was.
Sincerely speaking, I really don't know.
Yeah.
But does the color of the skin attracts negative attention?
Of course, yes, in Europe, yes, it does. I think it does. It does. The racism is so far from not being over.
Why?
It's greatly there.
Is there anything we can do about it?
I think right now it's also just awareness. People should tell their story, because another thing as well is, I have actually so many experiences about living in France, but close to Switzerland. I made friends in Switzerland, and there was a black girl from America. She had American passport and Switzerland passport because she was adopted when she was young by a Swiss family.
Okay.
But they grew up in America. But being adopted with a Swiss family, the family were white parents.
Okay.
But she was black. But because the parents were Swiss, she got Swiss citizenship.
Yeah.
So she grew up all her life in America, but now that she was older, she wanted to, know the Swiss side of her family.
Okay.
So she was living in Switzerland, and she was telling me her experience, how she was stopped in the train by police. They asked for her papers. She showed her the Swiss passport. Police took her in because they didn't believe why a black person must have Swiss passport. They were asking her how did she get that Swiss passport? Why she has it? She told me that her experience was bad with the police. Now, when she explained this to her parents, who are white Swiss, her parents are in denial because they don't believe there's racism. Actually, even everywhere, they don't believe in racism. Just because they adopted a black baby, they don't believe in racism. So now, because of that happened, she now has like a distant relationship with her parents.
Because she was not believed.
Yes. That she, there's racism.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Even when I was traveling now with my host mother, she even mentioned how I was so conscious, especially at airports. I was conscious about this, and that,
Yeah, because of your
they
sense
have
of
privilege.
awareness.
They don't feel that oppression. They have never felt. Actually, you can never make a white person feel oppressed. There's a difference. You can never make them feel oppressed. But us, we feel it, even if it hasn't happened. Even if you have never experienced my situation, you will understand it.
Yeah, because in certain ways we have seen these instances play out.
You understand it, So I think awareness, people telling their stories about migration, it really helps. It really helps even those non-believers of racism open their eyes to see that this is really happening.
Have you visited Switzerland since you moved to
No,
Finland?
I haven't.
Do you think you're going to?
I will definitely do, and I will be waiting for them to try me again. This time I will know how to do, I will know how to act, I will know, I know my rights now.
People who are going to Switzerland with either the green passport or with a different kind of skin color, like being black, what should they be aware of?
Well, in Switzerland, I would say it's very much different from Finland. There's so much control there, but in Finland, I don't know. I've never seen like police just randomly walking and asking for someone's papers or documents or, like controlling the
Checking if you
migration.
have residence permit and stuff.
Situation. But at the same time, I'm not telling the story for people to be scared to migrate to any European country, even Switzerland. I feel like people must just be bold, know your rights, know how to act in such situations, and don't be scared. Like, never ever be afraid.
Do you feel?
There's nothing. Looking back, there was nothing to be afraid of. Even though
because you were.
it was a traumatic situation. It's not nice having strangers like. It was probably assault. Looking back, then especially having nothing, no apology or whatever, having people stick things inside you, and um, looking back now, of course, I've learned from that experience. I'm more bolder now. I'm not scared. I'll definitely travel back to Switzerland.
Do you feel far more homey at home? Do you feel at home here in Finland?
Yeah.
Compared to when you were living in France?
Yeah. I definitely do feel far more homey here. Mainly, well, also because I've made friends who've become family here, and um, maybe because I also speak the language more here now, and yeah, I can communicate more, and my permanent workplace is here, so it's more homey.
To you?
Yeah.
In your migration, as a result of moving from different countries within Europe, you have had to learn 2 different European languages. How does it make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel like I can definitely learn another European language. I can definitely learn another. Well, I'm proud of myself, that I can communicate. Even with French, having not been in France for like the past 6 years, of course, I've forgotten many words and terms, but I still can communicate, because even when I communicate with my friends back who are still in France, we still communicate in French,
Okay.
A lot has forgotten, but when I know if I go back, then it will pick up again. So I'm proud of myself for being strong to learn the languages, because it's really not easy. Other
No, it's
people
not.
are struggling, with learning just one language, but I managed, and I'm happy and
You
proud of
learned
myself.
2 in adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because we have this English saying that you do not teach a dog new tricks
Yeah.
at its old age.
Yeah.
But here you are learning 2 languages in adulthood.
Yeah, definitely.
You must be super talented for languages.
Yeah, because I'm actually currently learning Swedish. I'm learning Swedish right now.
You have Finnish and you're learning Swedish.
Yes, I'm learning Swedish right now. I'm learning Swedish, so soon I'll be speaking svenska.
What language did you speak in South Africa?
Let me start. My home language, my mother tongue is Shona, so I speak Shona from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
I speak English, of course, because at school we learned English.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to South Africa, one of the languages I had to learn was Zulu.
Okay.
So I even had to write it. I wrote it for my high school.
Zulu?
Yeah,
Okay.
high school leaving certificate. I have it and I passed it. So I also can speak Zulu. And then there was also Sesotho. I also learned Sesotho. And then coming here, I learned French. I speak Finnish and now Swedish. 7 languages.
You are a language enthusiast.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Migration is not easy.
It's not easy.
You moved here to Finland to study nursing.
Mm-hmm.
How was it living here as a student?
As a student, well, let me say that Finland does have a way of making students' life like a bit manageable, you know, compared to other places. For example, the housing costs, they're manageable and, you know. But the challenges, of course, was the language because I wouldn't say Finnish is a difficult language, but it's a very different language. Yeah, it's a very different language. Of course, that was like one of the biggest challenges, learning the language. But my student life was really okay. I have no complaints about the student life. It was only after I graduated going to the work life. Now that's when
it hits you.
That's when it hits me, you know. Going to the work life, that's when it hit me. And
So if you were to choose, would you still prefer to be a student or to be right now, to be in the work life in Finland?
I would definitely prefer being in the work life because I would say because of growth.
Okay.
You know, if I'm to choose right now because of growth, I've passed the student life, and, you know.
There are so many students that are coming into Finland.
Yeah.
Do you think they have a chance to grow like you did?
Definitely. I feel like if even if one person out of a million can do it, then surely, you know, the rest can. Even though the other people failed, but if one person can do it, another one surely can. That's my motto. That's how even with the language, if I see other migrants who came here speaking zero Finnish, but now speak Finnish really well, if they can do it, then surely I can do it.
So apart from the language integration, are there any kind of other forms of integration that you had to explore as a student while living here?
Yeah, definitely. The work life as a student as well, you know. But the way, can I say that even though I was a student here, the study phase is not over because I will study to grow again, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not the work life as well. You know, as a student, you need to support yourself somehow. So juggling, mixing all that.
Mixing work and studies.
Yeah.
To keep up.
To keep up, you also need to have to be organized, to plan.
Okay.
You know, planning was a big thing. So,
did you at any point in time consider going back to Zimbabwe, that you were tired of living abroad or living in Europe?
yeah, I did. I did. I did. Mainly because, you know, in Finland, making friends, especially with the native Finns, is very difficult. from my experience.
Okay.
It's been difficult. And when, you meet someone, a native Finn, who wants to be friends with you, but they draw out a contract of friendship.
What?
And yes, to bring out a contract of friendship and tell you that this is a contract, we will be friends from this day till this year, for 1 year.
I don't understand.
When I was in Seinäjoki,
Yeah.
to make friends, we had a priest that if you wanted to make friends, the priest would connect you to someone, a native
Yeah.
Finnish person,
Yeah.
so you can speak language with them and whatnot. But as soon as you get there, the person has a contract of friendship that we're going to be friends for 1 year. We will meet at this place and that place to speak Finnish. You can't come to my house, I won't come to your house. That's how it was like. But I never signed any of those contracts. Once I saw that, I was not interested.
I never even knew it existed.
It exists. It exists. So when I was in Seinäjoki, it exists.
You don't mean it.
I'm telling you.
Paper contracts.
Paper contracts that you have to sign that we will be friends for 1 year.
Oh boy.
We will be friends for 1 year. We will meet in a so number of days, 3 times a week or 4 times a week. We will meet here, we will meet there, we will meet there. You won't come to my house, I won't come to your house. One of the people I know who signed that contract, after the friendship, that's when the lady was like, you can come to my house now. And she was like, but we signed a contract that I'm not supposed to come to your house. She was like, yeah, but we're just celebrating the end of our friendship. They have a friendship contract.
This happened in Seinäjoki. You
Yes,
experienced this in Seinäjoki.
I experienced it in Seinäjoki. I experienced it in Seinäjoki. I did.
Sometimes we
Once I saw that contract, I ran. I'm like, I'm not signing no friendship contracts. I was like,
was it? Did you know about it before you moved to
no,
Finland?
I didn't know about it.
Have you heard somebody?
I've never heard about it. It's only when I heard from other people who've actually signed that.
Before coming to Finland, or when you
No, when I was in Finland.
What?
Yeah, when I was in
friendship
Finland.
contract.
Yes, there's a friendship contract. There's a friendship contract.
Oh, yes. Was there any kind of penalty when you go against the stipulates of the contract?
I'm not sure about penalties because I never signed.
Did you read it? Did you read it through?
I read it briefly through. Name of the person, name of the friend, name of the second friend, how many times a week you guys will meet, where you guys will meet, no going into each other's houses, and this is supposed to be friends. And that we will be friends for a period of this year, a period of this time to this time. And they wanted a period of 1 year.
Who administered this contract?
It was one of the priests, let me not say the priest.
Yeah.
The priest is the one who connects.
Okay, yeah.
The people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it means what is the name of this church that?
I don't know. Do I even remember? I don't remember.
Wow.
I don't remember. It was like, was it a student priest? I don't remember.
The point is that we live in the same country. We mention the similar experiences,
yes.
But the truth is that life is lived diversely.
Yes.
And what happened to Mr. A might not even be what Mrs. B experienced. And this is why this is important, that people tell their stories, people share their lived experiences, so that those who are coming, or those who are even here, for instance, now I have lived here in Finland 13 years. I never saw a friendship contract.
They are friendship.
And you have lived now how many years in Finland? 6 years.
Yes.
And you already had that as one of your experiences.
Yes.
Ooh. Gabriella.
Yes.
You have really seen.
It's crazy.
It is.
Crazy, honestly.
It is.
It's crazy.
Wow. Have you experienced racism in Finland?
Well, not personally. I wouldn't say I've experienced racism like personally.
Okay.
I've just been hearing other people's stories.
Comparing your life here and that happened to you in Switzerland, do you think Finland is tolerant, more tolerant? The natives of the Finns, are they more tolerant of migrants in Finland?
Um, See, from what I have experienced, I think Finland is still opening up to foreigners, unlike Switzerland and France. Because in Switzerland and France, you have, for example, here, I always get people asking me, Mr. Master, or let go to his name, where are you from,
Yeah.
But in France, I don't usually hear that because they're native black French people. If you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they're native black French people, so they automatically think that you were born and bred in France
Okay.
until you start to speak English. That's
Okay.
when they will tell you if you want to speak English here, you go to the UK.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was told that. Because I was not speaking fluent French, so I used to speak English.
Okay.
The early times.
And they told you in
And
France.
they told me in France, if you want to speak English, go to the UK. Here we speak French.
How did you feel about that?
I was new. I didn't even know how to react much. My only thing was now I need to learn French. That was the only thing. I need to learn French. I was enrolled in a French school. I spoke French with the children, which really helped. So that's how it really picked, my French language skills.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it really picked. So
Do you think we can ever get to such a level in Finland?
well, I think because in Finland, if you see, with regards to official papers, the bureaucracy, paperwork, they have an option of Finnish, Swedish, and English. But in France, it's just French. They don't have an option of English. It's just French.
Espoo is one of the municipalities in Finland. In fact, it is the only municipality where English language has an official status as a language you can use
Okay.
for official communication. It doesn't have the same national, will I say, position like Finnish and Swedish.
Yeah.
But it's the third official language that you can use, like official spoken language in Espoo. Comparing that to France that you live and being told that if you want to speak English, you go to the Englishman land. Do you think that Finland is far more accommodating than we give them respect for?
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I would definitely say that. Definitely. Because as I mentioned, there is no English in official paperwork.
And they do not care.
They don't care. Everything has to be in French.
Have you ever gone to any place?
Luckily, when I was doing my visa for the French embassy when I was still in South Africa, my host mother, of course, because she was in France, all the paperwork was in French.
Yeah.
Luckily for that, because in France you have to get documents translated into French, even if they're in English.
Wow.
In France, yeah.
Wow.
So, but luckily, all my documents were already in French when I had to renew for the residence permit because I was already living in France.
In France.
So, yeah.
Do you still have the residence permit?
Yes,
too?
I have my old residence permit. I still have it.
It's still valid.
No, it's not valid. It expired a long time ago, but I still have the card. Memories, Memories.
Gabriella, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you for having me as well.
If we call you again, are we going to get your attention?
Yes, definitely.
What would you say to people who are migrants who live here or other part of the world, who, for instance, do not see the need to share their stories? What would you say to them?
I would definitely say that I would definitely encourage actually for people to share their stories, because no matter how horrible, traumatic, sad, or even embarrassing they can be, they will definitely touch that one person. Even if it's one person, it will definitely touch someone out there. People will learn from your stories. By you telling your story, you're also creating awareness, which is very important, especially in this day of life. So it's very important to just go out there, tell your stories. If you have something to say, call Mr. Ikebude
Yes.
and tell him your story. Create awareness. Definitely important, especially for us migrants. Definitely important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much. You too.
For you out there that are part of us, watching from wherever you are, we hope that you have learned one or two, or probably gotten the encouragement that Gabriella gave us here. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on the different social media platforms that we have. And if you have one or two information, opinions, or comments, you can leave them in the comment section.
Yes.
Have a good one and see you on the next episode.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.